Hey everyone, welcome to Collector Chatter. We have tons of Funko news because a lot of new stuff is coming out and we can't wait to talk about it.
Collecting is the way.
Now let's chat.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Collector Chatter. This is episode 108. I'm your host Migs here, my co-host Charlie and Trey. Trey is back. We got the
Let's
trio
go.
together. We are excited to all talk about some Funko news, some drops, some stuff that's coming out. Maybe some of it's leaks early on, whatever, but we're getting a lot of stuff that was in the last couple of days just really
Tons of stuff.
coming out.
Yeah.
And we can't wait to talk about it because we're going to tell you some of our favorites, some random stuff that's coming out, a lot of holiday stuff's coming out, which we're going to talk about. But we wanted to start off with an interesting one. If you guys check out, our shorts, we've been putting out a lot of shorts and reels and stuff lately. I was actually talking about this because I was super surprised by this, as was the entire community, I think. And it was the new Terrifier pops, which Art the Clown is obviously the character. If you don't know it, I mean, he's like a creepy looking clown. It's a really, really like I think it's like one of those like cult classic type of horror movies that has this like weird
I mean, they
obsessive
made
like
so
following.
many of them too, which is crazy.
Yeah, and it never had these, and all of a sudden we saw they were gonna make them, and they were like, "Oh, we're gonna come out with all these different versions." They had like a ton of different like common ones, and then one of the big ones was the Funko Shop exclusive, which had a chase, which is obviously like a bloody version. But that's not even the part that's crazy. The part that's crazy is they all dropped at the same time today at 12:30 our time on the East Coast, Trace time's 11:30, 9:30 on the West Coast, and the one with the chase sold out like instantly, supposedly. I didn't even go on, but sold out instantly. And then very soon after, all of the other ones sold out. And I was talking about it in the reel, and I don't know if you guys like what your take is on this because I know you're not like the biggest horror fans of the movie, but besides that, like, do we think this really was that popular, or this really is like has that following? Because people are really hyped about it, obviously,
Yeah.
but I'm also weary on it. Like I think this is one of Funko's like, hey, well, let's put out these certain amount, they get sold out, and then we're gonna restock it later anyways. Because I think some of these might have even hit like Hot Topic at one point. Like I don't think
Yeah.
they're the first ones to drop this. So I don't know
Yeah.
what your
Like
thoughts
I
are.
definitely think the commons will be back in stock. And if history, repeats itself, the Funko Shop exclusive will as well. But maybe this is their new way of not doing that, which I think would be cool. It's totally fine with me. But I think what this has taught me is everyone always thought it was just one piece stuff. If you have a Funko Shop exclusive that has a chase, people are just going to buy a ton of them because they want the chase.
Yeah.
Whether you're a flipper, you want it for your own collection, but like that's the reason I think that sold out immediately. I'm shocked about the commons that you can get at any retail, but I'm not surprised about the Funko Shop exclusive, and maybe you really won't restock. Probably will, but like I think it'd be cool if it didn't.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you think, Trey?
I kind of think the same, but I mean, like you said, history does repeat itself a lot with restocks. But I did find something earlier today that Funko Pop News said that they only stocked like 8,000 of the Funko Shop exclusive. So I don't really know how much like the One Piece had, how they had the chases. I don't remember what the
Yeah.
quantities were, but this one is
Yeah.
relatively low, but I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell. It's kind of like you would like for it to maybe stay sold out. That way, if you are a value collector, it gains value. We can have trade bait in the future. But it does suck for, Migs that is a collector of this and likes horror stuff. And if it gets too expensive, I don't know if you'll be able to get it. But, overall, it's still cool to see the that it's sold out. You know what I mean? When was the last time we saw something sell out? Not
Yeah,
even the
Yeah.
boxes of fun, not even fun on the run is still there. The
which is
heavy metal,
insane.
yeah, the heavy metal from Fright Night is still there. Like it's very rare to see something sell out, but it's cool though that at least something sells out.
Yeah. No, I completely agree with you guys. Like it's seemed like a small stock was up. Like it had to be. It just seemed a little too fast. And I think even like the One Piece and the ones that you were talking about, I think they were in like the double digits. Like I think it was like 10, 12,
Yes.
14,000 is what those were like supposedly stocked at. So for it to only be that low, like that, I'm assuming they're gonna have more because if that's the number, why not just make it like a piece count number at that point? Because that's low enough to say like it's, this rare type of thing. I think it's just kind of a little bit of a tactic, and they've done it before. It's not
Yeah,
the first time, like you guys said, and it is a way to kind of get a little bit more hype around it, get excitement. Then all of a sudden they'll drop a random restock. Like, I mean, they used to do it a lot back in the day. They kind of stopped and they came back. So I guess we'll see. But it was interesting to see that like everything kind of went. And I think it's just kind of some people probably were falling into the whole FOMO thing and like, oh, this is going to be great. And
Yeah.
obviously there was a meme that blew up out there with this character on it. So this is going to be popular. And, so I don't know. I don't think it's justified in the sense of like, this is something that everyone just freaking loves and
yeah,
they had to
agreed.
have it. I think it's just kind of a little bit of a weird mix, good timing kind of a thing. But I mean, like I said in my short, I didn't even go on. Like I saw that it was going to be coming out, but in my mind, I was like, all right, cool. It'll be up there. And I happen to want to get something at one point. Maybe I'll get some of them, and no idea it was going to just completely be
The
gone.
stuff that sells out at Funko Shop is just so weird. Like I even remember everyone was hating on those like 25th anniversary pops that came in like that middle tin can
Yeah,
and the cart. They always sat. Of course, the one I wanted the most, Darth Vader, sold out the day it came out, which and
yeah.
it's they've never restocked it. But
No.
it's just like, why did that one sell? It's just like so interesting. I mean, I know it's Darth Vader, but Funko Pop sit all the time Star Wars ones. It's just
Yeah.
wild.
Do you think
Yeah.
maybe because we're kind of getting closer to Halloween? I mean, I know we're still
Could
in
Yeah.
be.
July, right? But by
Yeah,
the
I
time we
mean,
know
some
it,
people may
Halloween's
even use that as a decoration in a weird way. Like, I
exactly,
feel like we're
yeah.
going to talk about that later on, but like Funko Pops have become a little bit, and Funko's leaning into it, like holiday decorations to a certain extent. And that could, I mean, that's a good point, Trey.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be that, but I mean, if you guys are fans yourselves that are listening or watching and you got it, definitely let us know. Were you excited to try to grab it, or did unfortunately not? Were you not able to get it? Because I know we had someone actually commented saying that when they went online, that like the chase one, the one that had the chase option, was completely gone, and then one of the other ones they tried to buy sold out in their cart. And then eventually they like walked away with like one or two
Dude,
of them. So it was like crazy. I was like, damn, I didn't realize it would have that hype. But I mean, again, I am a horror fan, but I will admit I haven't actually watched this movie or movies because I know there's a couple. I know the character and I know like what it like essentially, but I just never have really sat down and watched one of these. It to what I my understanding is a very gory kind of like,
okay.
campy kind of horror movie. So I don't know, we'll see. But interesting because some people are thinking that, oh, Funko's back, it's gonna be hype. So I guess we'll see if that transitions over to other, Funko Shop exclusives and drops. But Chase still happens to be the best route for Funko. And they don't do it too much with pops
Agreed.
anymore, but it usually is successful. And that's the better way. They do it a lot with anime, it seems like, but
I
let's
feel
get
like they should just start
some
doing
other
it more
ones.
often. I
Of
mean, I don't
course.
think it'll dilute the chase, just or at least every set of something should have a chase at this
Hmm.
point, in my opinion. And it's going to sell regardless at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. I definitely agree on that one.
Yeah, it does seem like that, right? So, yeah, so that was an interesting drop, obviously, something that, we all kind of wanted to just kind of get everyone's thoughts on it in general, but we'll see if more stuff will sell out going forward. But we'll go into some more other news and some other stuff that did either officially came out or pre-orders or is going to be coming out that we kind of found to be, exciting for us. But when you guys could start, I don't know who wants to start off with something maybe that kind of caught
Yeah.
their eye.
I mean, I'm going to go with One Piece, the new One Piece pops. I like them because, they're the Straw Hat crew, the main characters, but they're all have new, interesting molds. Like everything is
Yeah.
new about this. We're getting a new Luffy one where he's kind of like stretching his mouth out. Nami's kind of she's crying with the hat with the straw hat on. These are all kind of like popular scenes from the manga and anime. We're
Hmm.
getting Sanji with like the hearts floating. Usopp, he's kind of has his glasses on. like goggles, and
Mhm.
then we're getting a Zoro with a chase, which once again, here we go talking. I mean, we know the One Piece always get the chase, but we got the set. One has the chase. People are going nuts over this one. I mean, the pre-order sold out on Amazon super quick. Um, and it's a true chase. It's not just a glow. Like he's wearing his like bandana over his hair, holding the sword in his mouth. I mean, that pop is super sick. If
Yeah.
you're a fan, like I love this set. And then we even had some like shop exclusives, not the Funko shop, but we got Arlong with a triple A anime exclusive.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I think we got one more. I'm trying to remember what it was. I don't have it here,
Yeah,
but
it's the General
General
Frankie
Frankie,
okay, yeah. And then was that
a chase,
Chalice,
chalice.
Chalice with a chase
which
option,
typically gets
glow.
that too.
Yeah. And
I
there was a
mean,
buggy too
yep, the
at
buggy
Chalice.
when he's like the jester, which is super sick. All new, like I said, all new molds. I don't there isn't an Arlong Funko Pop yet. Once again, they can keep making these One Piece pops. Every time they come out, they're pretty sick.
Mhm.
So I'm
Yeah,
like fully on this One Piece like hype now. I feel like I like collecting that now, maybe some of the most of my Funko Pops now. As I've trimmed down collecting certain lines, I am enjoying collecting this one.
yeah. They look good. I've never seen One Piece, but they look
Gotta
good.
just watch Trey, you gotta watch the Netflix live action.
Yeah, watch the live
Maybe,
action. That'll
maybe
get you
that's
into
it.
it.
Maybe
that's
that's it.
it.
But yeah, but keeping it in the anime theme, of course, which you guys know, and I'm sure maybe some people that watching or listening know that Carly likes Demon Slayer. So obviously, when the new Demon Slayer stuff came out, she obviously messaged me and said, "Hey, check these out." I do like these a lot. I don't only know probably two characters, which is Nezuko and Tanjiro, which those two alone look amazing. The details, obviously, on mostly all anime pops are going to be great. Um, I'm sure there's other variants that will be coming out because I don't see right now the one that I'm looking at. I don't see any like exclusives. They look like they're all going to be commons.
Yeah.
It would be cool to see like the Nezuko glow in the dark, or maybe I don't know, maybe a metallic. Same thing with the Tanjiro. That fight scene looks
Yeah.
pretty good, honestly. Like it, all the fire, the smoke, like just the way it looks. I don't really watch too much anime. I'm still behind on Demon Slayer, but they go all out. The details on these things are clearly amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. Details on always on anime is like really good. And I feel like Demon Slayer was one of the first ones to really like
Yeah.
when it first started coming out,
Yeah,
we were like, damn, these like pops look so great. Like the color, just like the motion that they have. They're never just plain normal looking pops. Like they're always in some type of action pose or something. And like these are just as great. Yeah, this is not one that I've really watched or I just know a little bit about the characters. I did try to start it and I just kind of never went back to it. I do feel like I would enjoy it if I really put time into it. But yeah, these pops look pretty sick. And even going back to the one that Charlie said, One Piece, which I have watched, definitely watched the live action Netflix one for sure. Like the whole thing that really got me into like wanting to get into the anime. And I'm probably like maybe 30
Yeah.
five-ish or 40 episodes in, but there's literally like 1,200
It's just way
episodes. So
too
it's
many.
like there's so many.
Golly.
But yeah, but it is something that you can just like throw on here and there. It's 20-ish minutes, whatever, and you just rip through a couple episodes. But these ones look like so sick. Like they look exactly like them. They're great molds, like they're moments, like Charlie said. But that Zoro has to be one of the sickest
It's
ones,
so
especially
awesome.
the chase, because you see him in both, like looking both ways. And the best part is that it's like a completely different chase. Like you said, it's not just like it's a different hair because he has something on his head. He's got something in his mouth, which means on the other one he has it in his like holster. So it's like really changed up a lot. And if you thought that Terrifier thing was going to sell out like crazy, like this thing's going to be near impossible, I feel like, to try to get because that's just going to be insane. The Arlong one's pretty sick too because that's a cool character. And obviously, like you said, I don't think they had a pop of him, so it's cool to get one of him. But yeah, there was obviously a lot of other lines that were coming out. One that was announced a little bit, maybe about a week ago or so. I think they started kind of dropping that this was going to come out, and I'm excited for the movie itself. Is of course the Beetlejuice sequel, Beetlejuice. Of course, part two. And there's a wave coming out of these pops as well, which is pretty sweet because we haven't had like, a new Beetlejuice movie, obviously, since the first one in so long. But
Yeah.
Beetlejuice was a pop that they still kind of would come out with characters once in a while. Obviously, it's pretty, legendary of a character. But like the fact that Michael Keaton's back, like, is amazing. And they got all the people back. And then they just got Jenny Ortega to join the cast. So she has a pop in there as well. And it's cool. There's actually, speaking of, there's a chase option of Beetlejuice, actually. So you got him, and then there's like a chase of like
His guts
guts
coming out.
coming
It's pretty
out.
sick.
Yeah. So that's pretty funny to like see. Then there's going to be a two-pack, which is actually a really cool thing because I don't think they have a two-pack of him and Lydia. So that'll be pretty awesome. So yeah, I have some of the OG stuff. So some of these I may want to try to get my hands on because they look pretty awesome as like a set. And obviously, I'm excited for the movie, which I think is coming out pretty soon, right?
Yeah, it's coming out
Later
soon.
this year, right? Yeah.
Um, Another thing that I mean, I'm always loved the holiday pops, and one that really caught my eye was, and I I'm curious in the comments, let us know about this product alone. Do you like when Funko's doing stuff like this? They made Star Wars stocking holders.
Yeah.
I think this is such a cool idea. I think it's super creative and outside of the box. And we're getting Christmas versions, which we have these in pops, but they do look a little different in their sitting, of Vader, Chewbacca, Yoda, and C-3PO. I think these are super cool. I got four people in my family. There's four of these. I'm buying all of these 100%. I think these are super cool. And yeah, let me know if I'm the only one on this podcast that thinks that, but I do think that, but I'm also a huge Star Wars fan, but I think this idea
Yeah.
in general is super cool. And it's going back to the decorations of Funko. Get like, I don't know. I love these pops, this idea.
Yeah, I like them. They look cool. I'm assuming they'll probably be pretty heavy too because they have to
Yeah.
hold
Yeah.
the stocking. So
Yeah.
that's pretty cool. I don't remember on the last episode, you guys, did y'all talk about the pocket pops of the Star Wars and all
No,
that?
no.
So I did see
Holiday ones, I
those.
think, right?
Yeah, the
Yep.
holiday ones. So they had the Stitch, the Star Wars, and then what is it, Rudolph? I know we were talking about the Christmas stuff. I did notice that these are going to come like in pieces of coal.
Cole.
Yeah, which is
Yeah.
kind of cool. You know what I mean? So like, I know me and Charlie, we had that episode where we were going back and forth with all the holidays. Like, I'm excited. I don't collect a lot of Star Wars, but like those would be pretty cool to actually get, especially being a Star Wars fan. Which, by the way, I got a Star Wars shirt on. The two
I
people that are
know.
not as
Yeah. We both just randomly wearing
Shows how
Star
yeah,
sweet
Wars
Star
shirts.
Wars is.
And Charlie's
but
just like, what?
yeah, but yeah, I think these are cool. Maybe they'll do other lines other than Star Wars, which I'm pretty sure they will. They have the Marvel holiday pops,
Dude, it's perfect for
DC.
turtles.
Yeah,
Or
that
them. Or
or turtles. Hopefully, I'm always wanting turtles for everything. Thanksgiving, Christmas, whatever, New Year's.
You got the
Will I get
Easter.
them? No. Easter. I got the
yeah.
actually. Yeah, I actually just got those the other day. So, but overall, I think these are cool. I'm curious to see if we'll see any other lines other than just Star Wars. But I've liked to see a Mandalorian. That'd have been cool. Or a
Agreed.
Boba.
Yeah, they could have
Yeah.
maybe picked like the C-3PO one doesn't really fit in this set, but I to me the Vader and the Yoda are the standouts.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, they look they definitely look really cool. I mean, I guess if you're like a really big Star Wars fan, like Charlie fits into this. He's a really big Star Wars fan. He's a really big Christmas fan. So like, it's like perfectly both your worlds. But the idea, I think, is amazing. Like having these, obviously, like you usually see because like we have some that we use and it's like says joy, like a big J
Yep.
O and a W, and there's three of us, so like that's why we got that one. And it's like perfect because yeah, it is a heavy piece that sits at the end of like a little counter wherever you're gonna put them, and then the bottom part is where you hook, obviously your stocking to hang, but they're usually just like plain or a word or something. You never really see like a character or a figure or something. So like it's obviously funny because they literally look like they're sitting on the edge. Their feet are like hanging off the edge. So like they did a really good job
Yeah.
of the actual mold and the design of these. And of course, it's like four big characters, and they're all like look like are these exact pops? Like, do they exist already? You said like just
So
like
the
this
C-3PO one doesn't, but I mean not like sitting
because the
like that. We're
Chewbacca
just getting
does with the
outfits. The
lights around
Chewbacca,
him. Yeah,
the
Vader.
Vader, and the Yoda one do,
yeah, with the
but
Yeah.
bag and everything.
they're
Cool.
still new molds and whatnot.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
sitting down, so I mean, it's obviously a
Because
little different.
yeah, because the Vader, I think the pop actually had like a chase. I remember
It
like the
did
can
have a chase.
it
Wow.
it glue or it
The
glowed
candy
in the
cane
dark. Yeah, the
glow in the
candy cane.
dark.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, so I mean, I agree. I think it's a definitely a cool idea. I hope they do kind of. I don't want them to go crazy, but I do kind of hope they go outside of Star Wars and maybe go in
agreed.
a different
Yeah.
type of line to get these. But it's smart because when it comes to like ornaments and stuff, like obviously Funko, like nothing was announced that we have to talk about, but Funko has done the Hallmark
Yep.
like collab with the ornaments, and I have a bunch of those, and those are like perfect because early on I actually used to like put regular pops in the
Yeah,
tree
me too.
once in a while. I even like had a Christmas pop. It wasn't an ornament of Groot, but I glued on like one of the top things to put a hook on and made that, and it was like a little bobblehead and made that like an ornament. And then like the next year they start coming out with a bunch of actual
It's
ornaments, and I
so
was like, all right,
funny.
well, good. I was like, we'll just get these, I guess. So like, I'm sure we'll get more of those because those come out all the time. But yeah, Christmas was definitely heavy in this drop. Like Trey said, it's even the little minis and stuff. There was also some Hanukkah ones. So, if you don't celebrate Christmas, Funko's still gonna give you something. It is a little odd. They're little Stitch characters, but they do fit, the whole Hanukkah theme, the dreidel, and like there's like a couple different like snacks and things that have to do with the Jewish holiday. So, for Hanukkah, if you are, a Christmas fan, you still can get something at least of these minis. I don't think they have anything like full size pops or anything that I've seen right now. But there's a bunch of Christmas stuff. There's some Frosty the Snowman stuff that was announced. And then there was even a Charlie Brown one, which I thought was really cool.
That
So
one's
Charlie
awesome.
Brown with the little Christmas tree, obviously, which everyone knows about, but it's a cool little pop. Supposedly there's going to be like a Snoopy on the doghouse as well, like a Christmas version that wasn't shown, but it was like rumored that that's also going to come out. So yeah, Christmas stuff's obviously it's just funny because we're in a time where we're in the summer, but we get like tons of Halloween news and Halloween
Yeah.
stuff already. And then at the same time, they're mixing in Christmas. So it's just like an odd time to be like, especially in the collecting world. But yeah, Halloween is like still not here yet, and we're already getting Christmas news. So it's interesting to see. I'm sure we'll see when these come out though, because sometimes they come out at random times, not during the holiday or
I
before the
know.
holiday. Sometimes they're
I
too
feel like
late.
they're trying to be
So
prepared for once, and that's why we're getting these earlier. Because like all these, like the Star Wars ones, you couldn't pre-order yet, but I know like another one that they announced was all new Grinch Funko Pops. Like
yeah,
you can
yeah,
already
yeah.
pre-order those, and it says the date's going to be before Christmas. So, because one of like I love these Funko Pops. They made um one of the Grinch actually coming down the chimney,
Hmm.
which that's another thing. You can take that out of the box and you can make that like a Christmas, decoration. And then, they did the which, I'm always complaining about this, but the Amazon exclusives, the flocked of Grinch and Max, and
Max,
then
yeah,
the common is normal. We should have just got
yeah.
a flocked one. But yeah, they're hitting pretty hard with the Christmas Funko Pops this year, but I think they're good. They're not just like, oh, you're just making Christmas to make it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what are your thoughts on this, like as a whole? Not just because of this one, but this made me think of it. Like if they made like a character like Grinch, right?
Yep.
Obviously Grinch should be flocked, right? Like it just makes
Yeah.
perfect sense. It's like whatever. There's obviously other characters that we could say that about. Like, what are your thoughts on like that the Grinch pop should just have always be flocked and they
I
shouldn't have a regular one
I think it should always be
ever?
flocked. Yeah.
That makes
Yeah.
sense, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Like if
Makes
That's
like
total
yeah.
sense.
like a Sully or like
So
something like
yep.
that.
So
Cookie Monster,
Chewbacca, they
something
should
like that.
always
Chewbacca, yeah,
be
like
flocked.
they have the ability to make them flocked. If they never did, it'd be like, oh wow, this would be cool if we could make this kind of fuzzy. But clearly they know they do that. So it's just
Agreed.
I always thought about that,
Or
just kind of.
if they really don't want to do that, which I'm all aboard, that should be a chase. Then you can have the chase, and then you don't need to make a whole separate SKU of selling this as a retail exclusive. I think that's where Funko gets themselves in a lot of trouble because
Yeah.
now
Yeah.
I think Trey, you mentioned this on like a live you did, like that Grinch, the non-flocked one is just gonna sit probably because you're gonna want
Yeah.
the flocked one.
Right.
Yeah.
And that
That's
and that
true.
goes with any
Yeah.
really exclusive, right? Like
Hmm.
it's like you get this one, let's just say one piece, one Luffy, and then you get the same mold, but like a GameStop, and then you get the same mold at Target, just a different variant. One's a glow, one's a metallic. It's like I mentioned
Yeah.
it. I think I talked about like the shredder. There's a shredder that there's the diamond, there's a Funko Shop exclusive that goes in the dark, there's a metallic, and then there's the common, and I think there's like another one,
It's
and
like
they're
why?
all the five same mold. Like,
Yeah.
we'll just make one, and that's it. You don't need to make a
Uh,
comment. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Because it's not like the old days where like you made the comment and that was it. Occasionally you got like one other
Hmm.
exclusive. Now it's like
Like now there's so
multiple.
it's mass produced and it's not like
Yeah.
they're a designer toy company where I get it. Like look, I'll just use Mischief Toys as an example. They have their main mold of Ghastly. Yes, they have Demonstro and a few other ones coming, but like that I'm okay with different variants. It's the point of that collectible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not Funko. Funko is bringing the fun of all the different IPs. I don't know. We could have a whole episode about this,
We
Yeah.
could.
but
Literally. But
Uh,
what else, Trey? What did you like?
um, so I did actually, now that we were talking about the Stitch and the Hanukkah, there actually is a pop with him with the dreidel. I don't know if y'all saw that.
I did see
I know,
that one. Yeah,
I
that
know, I know, I know they had the pocket ones, but there's actually a dreidel.
Oh,
I
okay.
think,
Yeah.
I don't remember if you guys talked about it in the last episode, but there's some WWE pops that were coming out. It
no
was
go
Hulk,
go for it.
it was Hulk Hogan with the Wolf Pack, which is like the red and black. Then you got Diamond Dallas Page, where he's doing his little diamond, where he's doing the
Yeah.
bang. And then you got the Miz. I'm excited for the Miz because that one has the money in the bank, and then I believe that's the World Championship, which is pretty awesome. So I'm excited for those.
Does the Miz
I'm
have a Funko Pop or this is his first one?
this
Think he
is
does, right?
I think this is like second or third one.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I was
Okay.
gonna
This
say, I think I've
is
seen that.
this is the first Diamond Dallas Page one, which I've always liked Diamond Dallas Page ever since I watched WCW,
Yeah, it's a cool one.
and I think what he's doing now with his whole DDPY and how like he's changing a lot of lives, like I definitely like that one, and I like
Hmm.
DDP a lot. So hopefully I could actually get to meet him because he's actually pretty cool.
Yeah, that would
It's
be a
funny. I've
cool one to
met the
get
Miz
signed.
before at work.
Really,
Wow.
Yeah. Because he
dude?
had like a reality show when I worked at USA with him and his
Oh yeah,
wife.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
He was pretty nice, I
Dude,
must
he's
say.
pretty nice. And honestly, I've seen Diamond Dallas Page when I met Mick Foley the first time, and dude, he's like a 68-year-old man and he can put his foot like above his head. Like he's just a standing split. And I'm just like, dude, that's insane. Like, I don't know if you've ever seen like the
So
videos where,
athletic.
yeah, I don't know if you've ever seen like the videos where he's helped like veterans that can't even walk
Yeah,
and
yeah,
they're
yeah.
like, dude, it's insane. But I definitely like those. I cannot
Yeah,
wait
yeah.
for those.
Yeah, he's a great guy. That's pretty sick. Yeah, that whole little set it's interesting, like the mix of who you're getting. Like, you're getting like an OG guy, you're getting a Hogan who obviously everyone knows and so like up and down controversial, and then you're getting like a newer Miz, which I think we mention this every time. I'm sorry to be repetitive, but the WWE line, they always do that. They'll give you some old,
Yeah,
they'll give
it's
you some
great.
new, and they always mix it up, and it's like they all come out and like at the same time with a mixture of them, which
Yeah.
I think
Cause
is totally cool.
yeah, I think so too. Which is good because there's so many different eras if of
Mhm.
wrestling. You have the golden age with Hulk Hogan, Ultimate Warrior, Piper, and then you got the Attitude Era, and then you got the PG. You got all these different eras where like all these generations of people that loved wrestling, and it's just
Yeah,
yeah. So
Yeah, it's why it works for
I'm
the Funko
excited.
Pops.
yeah,
Yeah,
Another
I agree.
line
smart.
that they announced, which this seemed to be pretty popular. The first wave of it was Yellowstone. They came up with some new Yellowstone pops.
Oh yeah,
This time it's more of, I mean, we're getting a few doubles of main characters, but I like that they made some of the secondary characters. We're getting a new Beth. We're getting a Lloyd pop, which I think that one's amazing.
looks just like
Um,
him.
it looks just like him, but which is interesting that you say that because there's one of my favorite characters. I think the Funko Pop looks horrendous. So we're getting another John Dutton. We're getting teeter, but then we're getting a Jimmy finally Funko Pop that does not look like him at all. Like, Trey, do you watch Yellowstone?
I've never seen it.
I like it's. I didn't know who this Funko Pop was until I read the name. I don't think it looks.
Even the John Dutton one doesn't really look good. I
Yeah,
don't know.
no, it doesn't. But like, at least like I know. Like, I don't know. Did you agree with me, Migs,
I
about
guess
the
maybe his outfit maybe is the only thing kind of like, okay, I can see that that's Jimmy, but yeah, I mean, the mold of the face and the head is a little odd.
like where the Lloyd is like so dead
Oh
him?
yeah, yeah, yeah. You know the actor like right away.
It's just yeah. I was a little upset at him. I would have honestly they should have put him in like the 666 outfit, like or his new
I
whatever
was
that
gonna
which is
say
called.
that what's interesting about Yellowstone in general is that it's like they don't really have too much of like a flair look. Like they're pretty standard cowboys, you know. So like the fact that they even have pops is kind of interesting,
Fair,
honestly.
but all the other ones look like the characters. Like
Yeah.
they
I
I mean
mean,
I like
they do
that
pull
looks
it
like
off.
Beth. Like that
Yeah, Beth has a
looks
even has the scar. Like that's
yeah,
something,
like I don't know. It's just really the Jimmy one they really messed up. But I'm sorry, Jimmy.
yeah. Yeah, definitely an interesting one. I want to talk about some sports pops because we did get one that's being announced because it's sick because obviously it's Shohei Ohtani. He's a massive star. We all obviously know how big he is. He's been in LA, obviously from the Angels down to the Dodgers and the highest paid person ever. But it's just like they literally redid the mold, which we know that with sports pops, there's certain molds that they kind of do, and then like as newer waves come out, they'll come out with a new mold once in a while. This one is like one of the action ones, which I love this mold, like of him, you know, when it's them batting, the bat is right on the ball, like it looks so cool. But like we already have this exact same one essentially as him with the Angels, so now we're just gonna get him with the Dodgers, which I guess you can't really ask for too much because it's like when they change teams, like you know, fans want to
Yeah,
get him in a new team, so I get it.
I'm happy they
But
did
it
it.
yeah, but it kind of just is like, okay, well, you know, if you're a Dodgers fan, now you can get your Shohei as a Dodger, you know. But there's, you know, there's still a lot of play. There's so many players, but there's still a lot of players that I'm surprised they don't make yet or they haven't made. So that are superstars, even like right now.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, we're known at this point. They don't know how to add any sports Funko Pops.
yeah, it's so weird when they drop because they'll do it too late. Like it'll be after the
Also,
fact.
like
Like
this doesn't look like Shohei Ohtani
I know it is a kind
at
of
all.
hard. Like it's very plain. I mean, obviously he's his outfit, you know, his
I
number
know,
and what
but
he's
like they're
wearing, but it is hard. Actually, he's not wearing everything because he usually has a really big elbow. Like
yeah,
he
it's just
always has
not
like a lot of stuff on.
Yeah.
it's not detailed at all. Like, and I even think of I'm just like scrolling down now on dish trackers and the pop below it is the Charlie Brown Funko Pop. And like everyone may say Funko Pops just are Funko Pops, but that looks like Charlie Brown. You can make people actually look like them. They've done
Yeah,
it. Like the Aaron
he's done
Rodgers
it.
Funko Pop looks like him. The Travis Kelsey looks like him. This
Patrick
just
Mahomes.
yeah, this just does not look like Shohei. The
So it's so
baseball
funny because
Funko
I'm
Pops in
looking.
particular never look like them.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
all
was
the
just gonna
baseball
say.
ones never really do look
I
like
think
Sorry,
them.
Migs, you're
depending on
saying?
the player. No, no, 'cause I was gonna say it depends on the player. Some players have like obviously unique hair or like
Correct.
a beard or something that like you're like, okay, that looks like them when you see them in a uniform with the hat on, right? But
Yeah.
I mean, Shohei's pretty boy face, like you know, there's not much they could do to, like
Yeah.
make because I'm looking at I actually have which I think is one of the best sports pops ever made, the Shohei two pack of him
Yes.
pitching and batting on the
Yeah.
Angels, and it's like so sick. And on that one, he looks even I don't know if it looks the same or even more plain than this one. So I
At
guess
least
maybe
that's
they're
a
kind of,
little older
yeah,
though.
that's what I'm saying. So at
Unless
least maybe they're
yeah.
kind of getting better. But yeah, I mean, I get it. He doesn't have any distinct features to really be like, oh, that's definitely Shohei versus
It's not
like
even the right
a
skin
guy.
complexion.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, are you looking at it on, so are you on diss trackers?
I'm on dish trackers, yeah.
Okay. So scroll down. Someone put like a little GIF, like him swinging, and then you can
Okay.
kind of see it side by side. I mean, it looks like him. It's just
Just
plain,
yeah.
you know.
It's
I
just kind
guess.
it's kind of
Yeah,
weird though.
he
Unless
just doesn't
it's
have
like
like features to really.
yeah, that's the only thing. I was gonna say like maybe I don't know if he still has it or not, but Dallas Keuchel, I think from the Astros when
The
he had that
beard,
yeah, when he had
yeah,
the
he still
big
does.
beard, I think like if they made him as a pop, like you can obviously tell like that's who it is. But if it's not like somebody from the Mariners like King Felix or Nelson Cruz, like you know,
It's got to be that big, yeah. Because even like I have tons of baseball pops. Like actually, baseball is probably one of the bigger lines I have that and like football. And I have a Judge pop, and if you've seen it without turning it around and seeing his number, you wouldn't really know if it's
it's
Judge.
like Derek
Like could
Jeter.
yeah,
It's
it
like Derek Jeter.
could be any of the guys, and I'm like, because especially if they don't have facial hair, if they don't have anything like too distinct,
I mean, I guess you're
like
right. Shohei is just so
like
plain, but
yeah,
Like if they
like but
made a
that's the thing,
Randy
like
Johnson, if they made like a Randy Johnson with like
yeah,
the
it probably make him look
mullet,
like
maybe with like a chase where the bird is dead or something,
yeah, the
or like
hair.
I just think the detail, like, okay, Francisco Lindor's someone who has features, and
yeah.
his Funko
His
Pop
hair
is
color.
terrible.
Well, his hair is different though,
But I'm saying they didn't do that for the Funko Pop.
didn't they?
No,
Isn't that the one that he has like colored hair?
no, he's wearing a Mets hat and he just looks like any other dude with a goatee.
Okay,
It
I'm trying
What
to
actually
about
think of
drives me
which
crazy. The
one.
Funko Pop
what
is
about
terrible.
what's
But
it?
it's not like they
Uh,
don't do it because look at the Max Scherzer. They literally paint, they had one eye completely
well,
different color.
that I mean that
Correct, which that is an epic one that I had to
Yeah.
crush. Got rid of that.
You got
why?
rid of that?
Yeah, smash that
Oh, I
Funko
still
Pop.
have it.
Ah,
You
dude.
smashed it. You're crazy.
Oh
Well,
man.
I think he has one on the Nationals and on the Mets. I'm trying to
Yeah,
think of which one I have. I think I have the one on the Mets. I don't think I have the Nationals one.
because
Yeah.
it's exactly
But
the same mold. Like they,
yeah.
I think the past few sports pops were getting me excited. I think that, and we've talked about this on the podcast, like, wow, they're looking a little different. They're trying new things.
Yeah, a
The
little more
Shohei is just like
motion.
a step back. But it could be a rush job too. It's like we need a Shohei pop out there, and like they repainted all the old ones that made it Dodgers from an Angels uniform. It's weird not
Yeah.
to change the like stance or anything at all.
Yeah. But at
But I
least it's
think
not
we've
just him standing up with the bat, which I
yeah,
freaking hate that mold.
but we've probably exhausted this topic, so we can move
Like
on to
Yeah.
the next one.
yeah. I was gonna say because the only other baseball one is what's his name? Fernando Tatis Jr.
Yeah, that looks
His
Yeah.
like
hair. Yeah.
he has some
Hmm.
details.
Maybe that's the one I was mixing up with Lindor. But yeah, we gotta show hip hop. So
I mean, another one we got planes, trains, and automobiles. So we're getting a Steve Martin and John Candy Funko Pop, basically, which I don't think either of them have Funko Pops for any of their characters. That I can think of off the top of my head.
yeah. I
But
had for some reason I thought John Candy did have one, but I don't know for sure.
I mean, these are cool. This is
But
obviously a
maybe not.
cult classic. They're kind of throwing this in with the Christmas line, but it's also random. But
So
like, it's
so
the good,
random.
like I always, though, I always have a dilemma with this is like a good random, but it's still random. Like, I don't know how big of a market there is for this, which at this point, I really think Funko needs to start really thinking about that, in my opinion.
I
I don't know.
agree. I agree.
I mean, that's the same
Uh
goes with the Wet Hot American Summer. Like, we're getting
Yeah.
three pops from that. I mean, they're cool looking, but like, these should have came out when the Netflix show came out when it had its
Yeah.
moment.
yeah, I
Yeah.
don't even like know that show. The only thing I know is the freaking gif of this what's his face flipping like the salad
Oh,
and the
oh,
flip
you would like that movie and show.
because that I saw like everywhere, like but I had no idea what the heck like the show was or
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah. Other than that, I mean, I did talk. I know I talked about this on my live. The Godzilla pops. Actually, a lot of people
Yeah,
were.
let's get into people were loving those.
Yeah, like they literally like, hey, talk about the mystery minis. Talk about the movie poster, and I was like, okay, I didn't even know they were coming out. But
There's
after
so
looking
much.
at them, yeah, there's actually
They're cool.
they all look good. There's a chase. Who doesn't love a chase? Um, they had the 10-inch Godzilla, and then they had the movie poster, which it looks cool, but the movie posters are just so big. Like
Yeah.
pause, but um, Yeah, I think they all look good. Even the mystery minis, honestly, like I don't know the ratios, but they all look relatively detailed. They also kind of look like I guess like the Japanese toys or like
They do. They did a good job with that.
yeah, I like those. Will I get them? Probably not, but I know a lot of people when I did my live, like they were like like they were excited for this. I don't really have too many Godzilla pops or any at all.
Yeah, I
But
have a 10-inch, like the Godzilla versus Kong. I have both, one of each.
oh, okay.
And I think that's the only one. Maybe I got the Ray one at one point. I don't even know if I still have that in my collection, but
Yeah.
I think that was the only one. But what I do like about this is like it's obviously Godzilla over the years,
Yeah.
which is like
Yeah.
cool because you're not only like getting one, like you're getting so many different versions, starting all the way back from 1954 and then going into the 80s and 90s and even in 2016. So like we're kind of seeing like the
Yeah.
evolution of the character and like they do
Um,
all look a little different, even though they're all like
yeah.
Godzilla.
Yeah.
But compared to like the new ones, like the ones that were coming out for Godzilla vs. Kong and like when those were coming out,
Yeah.
these do look like a little like if you like look at the picture where they're not in the boxes. I don't know if you've seen that
Yep.
one where you can see them all. Like maybe it's just because from straight ahead, like they look a little odd. Like they don't really look like I don't know, their faces looks really like and he has a little bit of a snout, but you can't tell from straight on, so they look a little odd. They look like a bunch of just like lizards, I guess.
Yeah, well, I think that's partially though. It they are obviously looking like that version of Godzilla, which we're just not used to
Yeah.
anymore. I mean,
Yeah.
I actually think this line is absolute fire. Uh, one of the better lines Funko's done in a long time
Hmm.
for an anniversary. Like it makes sense.
That's
I
right.
mean,
Yeah.
the Charlie 2 years ago would have pre-ordered all of these.
Oh
I
yeah.
probably won't get any of them just because like, but like I think these are super cool.
Yeah.
And I
What
love
about the
how
exclusive ones? Those are like way out there. Like I don't
I
like the
mean, but I think
Mecha
that's super
King and the
cool. Like
Gigan.
the exclusive ones feel exclusive though too. I'm happy you brought that up because at least it's not just one of them is I think was from the 50s Godzilla,
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just
which
a variant of yeah.
yeah, but
That's
at
like
least
the
the other ones are a little more random and we're getting different monsters. I
hmm
don't know. I honestly feel like they're probably going to make more in this line. If I'm being honest, like we probably will get a New York Comic Con one, because we did get San Diego Comic Con Godzilla Funko Pop, even though I think they missed the mark on putting a year on that box, but I could be wrong. That's the other thing I like that they're kind of saying what year and movie they're from.
Yeah, that part's cool.
So
yeah.
I mean, even though this line's
What
big, like I think it's cool.
what anniversary did they make up for this one?
70.
Yeah.
Exactly. 70. Come
70th.
on.
We'll get 75 soon, dude, by the time
Yeah,
we
like come
realize.
on, 70? That's like 75 makes more sense. 70, who
I
counts in the
though it's
70s?
funny. I'm pretty sure though this is not a Funko thing. This is like the Godzilla brand is doing this, and
You know,
Funko's just jump. I know what you
tagging
mean,
along.
but like I've noticed like there's a bunch of Godzilla merch coming out.
Okay. That's interesting. I mean, Godzilla was big and recently too because of the shows and like that the one that was on
Yeah,
Max was like a big deal. I
Apple
actually
TV.
watched the oh was Apple TV? Was
Yeah.
the movie on there too?
Although the
One of
movie
the
was probably on Max, but there's a monster, the Legacy of the Monsters, I think,
yeah.
it
Yeah.
is on. That's a show on Apple TV,
But
which
the
is
movie that's in it's dubbed, I believe, or it's in
oh yeah,
Japanese or
yeah, yeah,
whatever.
yeah,
That
yes.
movie was really
Yeah.
good.
That movie's sick.
I actually watched that and it was very good. So like I was, I don't know if they did they come out with pops for that? I
No,
think they
they
did,
didn't.
right? Oh, that was
No, they
-1, right? Is that what it
yeah,
was called? Godzilla
yeah.
-1.
That didn't get any.
Oh,
I don't
interesting.
believe. Let us know in the
I
comments if you
thought
want to
for
see a
some reason I remember
Yeah.
return.
seeing that on a box, but I don't know.
They
I mean,
just
we
need to make a
could be off.
Godzilla 2000 with what's his name?
What?
Godzilla 2000. What was
That's the
it?
one with Matthew
What's his name?
Broderick?
Yeah.
Oh,
That, that was the last Godzilla I
jeez.
seen.
Oh yeah.
That was the best one.
Did you
Just
ever watch
kidding.
Godzilla King versus Kong? That was good.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, should watch that. That's a good one. Another
I'll add
random
it to.
show is X-Files. I wanted to talk about because that was another
Oh yeah.
random. Let's throw in some other
Yeah, oh,
bigger
God, yeah.
shows. That was rumored a long time ago. I remember we talked about that, but now we finally got the mold. Random,
Yes.
very random.
You just look like cops.
Yeah,
Basically,
but I agree, but it's funny.
I mean, the girl looks like her
It
though.
looks
If you
like
watch
them.
X-Files at
Yeah,
all, like
yeah,
it
of course.
100% looks like her. Yeah.
That's why it's why I'm going back. I'm going back to the show. It doesn't look like them. These look like them.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
Like you
guess.
can make it work with Funko Pops.
yeah,
It's funny, but they have features, she has hair. That's,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
tough when you put a
yeah,
hat on a
He's got
random
yeah,
guy.
but he gets a little coming out of the helmet.
Yeah,
yeah.
maybe,
If his tie
maybe.
wasn't polka dotted, I would have thought he was like a Men in Black or something.
The FBI on it.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
Which is
anything
so
else?
funny though. Speaking of John Candy, he's also getting an Uncle Buck Funko Pop coming out at the same
yeah,
time. Maybe they got the John Candy license now from the
Oh
estate.
yeah, because that's the thing. You were just saying he doesn't have anything.
That's
Look at that.
so weird.
He doesn't have one from Home Alone, right? For that character. I thought he did
No,
for some reason. Or Cool Runnings, the other
they
those, right?
should. They should.
yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. Um, there was something else. The Flavor Flav.
Flavor Flav.
Yeah. So I
Oh,
I thought this was super
he
random because
does
I didn't
have
know
a
too
cool
much
runnings
about this,
Funko Pop.
but he
Good
does.
good
Okay,
call.
okay, okay,
He
okay.
does. He does.
I knew he had a pop. But yeah, Flavor Flav is coming out with a pop. It's a pretty funny, hilarious one. His outfit looks ridiculous, but it obviously has kind of a little bit more, detailed meaning to it. It's realistic. Like this is actually something he was wearing during the Olympics, because of the U.S. water polo team, which is it's just so weird the connection of him and the water polo team. I mean, honestly, this year's Olympics was very random with who they pushed celebrity wise, because obviously, Snoop Dogg was all over the place when
Yeah.
it came to the Olympics. And then even Flavor Flav had a little bit say to this. So there is a little bit more background to it, right, Charlie? That kind of
Yeah.
like what he's
So I
doing.
mean, he's a big supporter of the women's water polo team. He helps support them, pay their way, because everyone just assumes if you're someone who goes to the Olympics, you make a lot of money. That's not true at all.
Even if they
Um,
win, they don't make
yeah, I know. It's crazy.
money.
And what's super cool about this Funko Pop is Funko is donating some of the proceeds to US water polo, which I like when they're doing this. I feel like they need to do more of these pre-orders. I mean, T was a moment at the Olympics, which is why they're doing it. I feel like people wanted this Funko Pop.
Yeah.
It would have been cool if we got a Snoop Dogg one too.
Yeah, I'm
But
surprised there wasn't one
yeah, I'm surprised too.
along with
Maybe
this.
I don't know, maybe because he already has so many damn Funko Pops. They're just
But
like
that's
it's not
that's another reason
special.
why I'm surprised, because they love
You're
him
right.
already. They have him already.
Maybe that one will come and it
Put
doesn't
him
need to
with
be
the
a
freaking
pre-order.
the blunt looking
Yes, that would
torch that
be
he was holding.
amazing. But everyone wants that pin that he gave out to people. Did you see that where he's smoking a blunt and that he's blowing out air? I mean
It's a
smoke.
pin?
Yeah, it's pins because it's pin trading is really big in the Olympics.
Wow.
And he had a pin. Like even the athletes trade them. They're
Oh, I
highly
did see
collectible.
Yeah, I said Steph
Oh,
Curry
okay.
in
Yeah,
a
yeah.
video. I
Yeah,
had him
and
like around their
he
lanyard.
made one that he handed out with him blowing smoke from smoking it, and it was all the Olympic rings.
Oh my God.
Uh, that's
That
That would
really
would
have
be
been
cool.
an
nice.
amazing Funko Pop. But moral of the story is this one's a pre-order like we've done now a few times, like they did with the Kelsey one, that they did with the Dunkings.
Okay.
Um, and I just think that this is the future of Funko to a certain extent. And they're going to keep doing this, and it's not, you're going to order what you order, and there doesn't need to be any shelf warmers. So, I mean, like, I
That's
think this
smart.
is cool.
Yeah, I agree with that. I like that they're doing that, donating the proceeds to the women's water polo. I think that's pretty cool. Will I get it? Probably not, I'll be honest. But it is a cool pop. I do like that they're doing that, like you mentioned earlier with the Jason Kelsey. I'm sure whenever we get, other moments like in sports or something, we'll get some. If there's a lot of people that really want it, or maybe ask Funko, maybe we'll get more stuff like this. I definitely like this, and like you said, shelf warmers. You know what I mean? It gives people plenty of time too to pre-order because you usually get like what 3 days to pre-order.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I think
yeah.
this is like a week. So
Oh damn!
you have until Friday to pre-order it.
Well,
Dang.
there you go.
So
If you want it, go on and pre-order it. Um, we do have a drop coming out today, actually, NFT. I
yeah,
know we mentioned it quickly last week. It is the Rick and Morty line, which we did kind of talk about how we like the molds and everything. Not the biggest, like I don't know much of it, never really watched it. Charlie is probably the only actual fan I think here. And I know you're going to be getting some, I believe, right?
Yeah,
I'm not getting any packs. Uh, check out what we got from last week's drop. I got pretty good stuff. I put up a reel actually. Some stuff that I was able to pull. Really love that Universal Monsters line. I was actually able to finish it, the royalty. So I'm excited to get that because that's
me too. That one is
such an awesome
sick.
royalty. Yeah,
So
very
cool.
excited for that. But we still haven't got news on the TMNT yet.
I know.
Surprise.
Just waiting, patiently waiting.
All
Yeah,
right. Do
very
you have any more
surprised.
thoughts, Trey, of what you think it could be? I know we talked about it before, but like now that you've seen these few drops, like what do you think this is gonna be?
I would like the I think I mentioned it the last time. The grayscale with like the
The
red
red
bandana.
bandanas?
I think we kind of talked about it with the Universal Monsters where the grayscale, I think they should do something like that. And maybe not all of them, maybe some of them. Like maybe they could throw the Casey Jones in there or just throw something that we have not seen in a while, like a Bebop and Rocksteady. We haven't even seen those from the new movie, from Mutant Mayhem. I don't know if they'll mix everything in, but yeah, I would like to see another Krang,
Oh
honestly.
yeah.
There was another one.
It's funny you say it though. Part of me is like, could it be from Mutant Mayhem? I know they showed the logo of it being
Yeah,
the original, but I honestly don't think that matters. I don't
yeah,
think that means it can't be because you bring up a good point. We've really gotten none of the like mutant villains from that movie besides the Ray Fillet one that was a New York Comic Con exclusive a year ago,
yeah.
which
And
is
like
interesting.
we did get like Superfly, but other than that, we didn't get too much. Um, oh man, what was the other one I was thinking about the other day? Uh, Gecko for sure. There was another one. I don't know.
Yeah,
I've
I think
been
the villains or the grayscale is the way it's
definitely
gonna
more
go.
villains, and maybe even we haven't seen it in a while either, like a foot soldier.
What was
Kino
who
would
was
be
in the
cool.
first set?
The Shredder,
Casey
Casey,
Jones, Leo,
Bebop. Actually, Bebop was in there.
but they all were like metallic,
The
black
Black
light,
Eye.
like that's
Yeah,
was in like the early on, like that was that set, even though it's sick, like it was
yeah.
just reused molds at the end of the
Yeah.
day.
Well, I don't know. I don't know what the Leo was. Was it? I don't know. I don't remember.
Regardless, but you know what I mean. It's like
Yeah,
they weren't like
yeah,
new,
because they were
fresh
still, yeah, they
pops.
were still kind of. That was the first drop, so we were kind of still like,
Yeah,
there was. I'm sure they were still exploring and
exactly.
figuring
What was
out what
gonna
they're.
do good, yeah.
Yeah, and then figure out, to sell the rest at the Buckeye warehouse, but whatever, no big deal.
For real.
They sold
So
my two, but whatever.
yeah, the ones you didn't get.
I'm excited though. I hope this week we find out what we're getting. I really would like, honestly, I don't think they'll do it, but I really would like an April or Franny as April. I think that would be pretty cool.
That would be epic.
Yeah.
Maybe
I
like
mean
as the royalty.
they've put her in the NFT set at least. They didn't put her in San Diego Comic
Yeah,
Con. So like there's a potential that they can do that. And maybe I don't know, maybe it's because they can take time to make those molds when it comes to the NFTs versus like San Diego Comic Con had probably already
yeah.
had been made like a while
Yeah.
ago. So I guess we'll
They might
see if
they might make it as an ultra. I don't know. I mean, they've been doing
yeah.
that too,
I'm sure
so
there'll probably be an Ultra in this set. I feel like it'll be
Agreed.
a big redeemable set, like where there'll be a lot.
Because Rick and Morty has an ultra, so I think this will.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It totally makes sense. Um, but I think that's gonna be the news for the
Yeah.
week. Uh, if you haven't already, please make sure you guys are liking this video. We appreciate if you like and subscribe. We need it. We are growing for sure. Excited how our growth has gone. If you guys continue to like what we've been doing with shorts and stuff, we'll keep doing that. Obviously, it's been fun kind of just putting out random stuff, whether it's like news related or funny bits and things that are going on in pop culture in the world. We'll kind of try to stay on top of that. But like we always say, if there's other like topics or things you want us to talk about, definitely, like if there's a week that there's not much news, maybe we'll figure out like Trey was talking about one of the things we were talking about today. I forgot already what it was, that we can do a whole episode on that. So like sometimes there's stuff that we really could just banter back and forth on what we like about it. So we can maybe do an
Agreed. We
episode like
definitely
that
need some
too.
of those.
Yeah, so we'll fill those in if it's like a light week for sure. But this week was a pretty good news week. So excited to see what's to come. Best of luck with everybody in NFTs if you're going to go after the Rick and Morty. And can't wait to see what maybe next week we'll be talking about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, what they look like.
I know.
And like if
I
we're
hope
gonna
we
Yeah.
get
do.
any, yeah, hopefully, because I'm assuming maybe this Friday they'll announce it, and maybe it'll drop like the last week of August because
Yeah.
they
Agreed.
have 2 weeks to kind of fit that in, so they have
Yeah.
time.
Like right before Labor Day.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If that's the case, the next episode is nothing but turtles. Just telling
yeah,
y'all guys right
Let's
now.
do it.
Nothing but turtles.
just gonna break
How many
down the whole
packs are you
thing.
getting, Dre?
Break the whole
I'm
thing.
I'm so I'm at least getting
What
like, I don't know,
what's the most
eight.
packs you ever got?
The most I've ever bought was probably like six. But like
Okay.
I got a mixture of standard and premium. This time I'm going all premium. I might get like 6 and 6. I don't know. I'm
All right.
just
You
I'm
gotta
going all
get
in.
All right,
I'm
Trey.
all in. I'm all in.
With
do
that
it.
being said, let the people know where they can find us.
Oh, you gotta do this to me now. Put me on the spot. Oh my. Okay. You can find us at Collector Chatter,
Yes.
at pop_migs,
Yes.
at collector_Charlie,
Yes.
and at STX_collectibles. Feel free to follow all of us on Instagram. Follow us
hmm
definitely here on the tube. And go check us out on TikTok as well, because Charlie puts out great stuff. I put out great stuff. And then Migs also puts out great stuff. So go check us out. We are on the road to 700 subscribers. Please share this
Yeah.
video, share the channel. We definitely would love the support. And yeah, we appreciate it.
Thank you, everyone. Collecting is the way. Till next time, later.
Later.
Peace.